Later in the afternoon, the terrace of the palace. The king and the queen have just taken tea.
Why did you tell them to leave the chairs when they took away the tea?
I shall receive the cabinet here.
Here? Why?
Well, I think the open air and the evening light will have a quieting effect on them. They cannot make speeches at me so easily as in a room.
Are you sure? When Robert asked Boanerges where he learnt to speak so beautifully, he said, in Hyde Park.
Yes, but with a crowd to stimulate him.
Robert says you have tamed Boanerges.
No, I have not tamed him. I've taught him how to behave. I have to valet all the beginners, but that does not tame them. It teaches them how to use their strength instead of wasting it in making fools of themselves.
You get no thanks for it. They think you are only humbugging them.
Well, so I am in the elementary lessons. But when it comes to real business, humbug is no use. They pick it up themselves too quickly. Oh, good heavens. They haven't come, have they, Pamphilius? It's not 5 yet?
No, sir. It's the American ambassador.
Oh.
Has he an audience?
No, ma'am. He's rather excited about something, I think. I can't get anything out of him. He says he must see His Majesty at once.
Must? An American must see the king at once without an audience. Well,
Send him in, Pam, sir.
I should have told him to write for an audience, and then keep him waiting a week for it.
What, when we still owe America that old war debt, and with a mad imperialist president like Bosfield? No, you wouldn't, my dear. You'd be crawlingly civil to him. As I'm going to be, confound him.
His Excellency the American ambassador, Mr. Van Hatten.
Sir?
How do you do, Mr. Van Hatten?
Ma'am.
Oh.
What on earth is the matter, Mr. Van Hatten? You're shaking Her Majesty's rings off.
Her Majesty will excuse me when she learns the nature of my errand here. This King Magnus is a great historic scene. One of the greatest, perhaps, that history has ever recorded, or will ever again record.
Have you had tea?
Tea? Who can think of tea at such a moment as this?
It is rather hard for us to share your enthusiasm in complete ignorance of its cause.
That is true, ma'am. I am just behaving like a crazy man. But you shall hear. You shall judge. And then you shall say whether I exaggerated the importance, the immensity of an occasion that cannot be exaggerated.
Goodness gracious. Won't you sit down?
I thank your Majesty.
You have some exciting news for us, apparently. Is it private or official?
Official, sir. No mistake about it. What I am going to tell you is authentic, from the United States of America to the British Empire.
Perhaps I had better go.
No, ma'am. You shall not go.
Oh.
Whatever may be the limits of your privileges as the consort of your sovereign, it is your right as an Englishwoman to learn what I have come here to communicate.
My dear Van Hatten, what the devil is the matter?
King Magnus, between your country and mine, there is a debt.
Does that matter, now that our capitalists have invested so heavily in American concerns?
King Magnus, for the moment forget figures. Between your country and mine, there is not only a debt, but a frontier. The frontier that has on it not a single gun nor a single soldier, and across which the American citizen every day shakes the hand of the Canadian subject of your throne.
There is also the frontier of the ocean, which is somewhat more expensively defended at our joint expense by the League of Nations.
Sir, the debt is cancelled. The frontier no longer exists.
How can that be?
Am I to understand, Mr. Van Hatten, that by some convulsion of nature, the continent of North America has been submerged in the Atlantic?
Something even more wonderful than that has happened. One may say that the Atlantic Ocean has been submerged in the British Commonwealth.
I think you would better tell us as succinctly as possible what has happened. Pray sit down.
You are aware, sir, that the United States of America at one time formed a part of your empire.
There is a tradition to that effect.
And no mere tradition, sir. An undoubted historical fact. In the 18th century...
That's a long time ago.
Centuries count for but little in the lifetime of great nations, sir. Let me recall the parable of the prodigal son.
Oh, really, Mr. Van Hatten, that was a very, very long time ago. I take it that something important has happened since yesterday.
It has. It has indeed, King Magnus.
Then what is it? I've not time to attend to the 18th century and the prodigal son at this moment.
The king has a cabinet meeting in 10 minutes, Mr. Van Hatten.
I should like to see the faces of your cabinet ministers, King Magnus, when they hear what I have to tell them.
So should I, but I'm not in a position to tell it to them because I don't know what it is.
The prodigal son, sir, has returned to his father's house. Not poor, not hungry, not ragged as of old. Oh, no. This time he returns, bringing with him the riches of the earth to the ancestral home.
You don't mean to say?
I do, sir. The Declaration of Independence is cancelled. The treaties which endorsed it are torn up. We have decided to rejoin the British Commonwealth. What? We shall, of course, enjoy Dominion Home Rule under the presidency of Mr. Bosfield. I shall revisit you here shortly, not as the ambassador of a foreign power, but as High Commissioner for the greatest of your dominions, and your very loyal and devoted subject, sir.
The devil you will.
What a splendid thing, Mr. Van Hatten.
I thought your Majesty would say so. The most splendid thing that has ever happened.
Don't you think so, Magnus?
Perhaps I should have mentioned that one of our conditions will be that you shall be emperor. A king may be good enough for this little island, but if we come in, we shall require something grander.
This little island, this little gem set in a silver sea. But what about the continental powers? Do you suppose they would consent for a moment to such a change in the balance of power?
Why not? The change will be only nominal.
Nominal? You call an amalgamation of the British Commonwealth and the United States a nominal change? What will France and Germany call it?
France and Germany? These queer old geographical expressions which you use here from old family habit do not trouble us. I suppose you mean by Germany the chain of more or less Soviet republics between the Ural Mountains and the North Sea. Well, the clever people at Moscow and Berlin and Geneva are trying to federate them. And it is fully understood between us that if we don't object to their move, they will not object to ours. France is too busy in Africa to fuss about what is happening at the ends of your little channel, too. So long as Paris is full of Americans, and Americans are full of money, all's well in the West from the French point of view. One of the great attractions of Paris for Americans is the excursion to Old England. The French want us to feel at home here, and so we do. Well, why shouldn't we? After all, we are at home here.
In what sense, may I ask?
Well, we find here everything we're accustomed to. Our industrial products, our books, our plays, our sports, our Christian Science churches, our osteopaths, our movies and talkies. Put it in a small parcel and say our goods and our ideas. A political union with us will be just the official recognition of an already accomplished fact. A union of hearts, you might call it.
You forget, Mr. Van Hatten. We have a great national tradition.
The United States, ma'am, have absorbed all the great national traditions and blended them with their own glorious tradition of freedom into something that is unique and universal.
We have a civilized culture which is peculiar to ourselves. It may not be better than yours, but it is different.
Well, is it? We found that culture enshrined in British material works of art, in the stately country homes of your nobility, in the cathedrals our common forefathers built as the country houses of God. What did you do with them? You sold them to us. I was brought up in the shade of Ely Cathedral, the removal of which from the county of Cambridge to New Jersey was my dear old father's first big professional job. The building which stands on its former site is a very fine one, in my opinion the best example of reinforced concrete of its period. But it was designed by an American architect and built by the Synthetic Building Materials Trust, an international affair. Believe me, the English people, the real English people, who take things as they come instead of reading books about them, will be more at home with us than they are with the old English notions which our tourists try to keep alive. When you find some country gentleman keeping up the old English customs at Christmas and so forth, who is he? An American who has bought the place. Your people get up the show for him because he pays for it, not because it's natural to him.
Well, our own best families go so much to Ireland nowadays. People should not be allowed to go from England to Ireland. They never come back.
Well, can you blame them, ma'am? Look at the climate.
No, it is not the climate. It is the horse show.
I must think over this. I've known for years past that it was on the cards. When I was young and under the influence of our family tradition, which of course never recognized the rebellion of the American colonies as valid, I actually dreamt of a reunited English-speaking empire at the head of civilization.
Fine. Great. And now come true.
Not yet. Now that I'm older and wiser, I find the reality less attractive than the dream.
And is that all I am to report to the President, sir? He will be disappointed. I am a little taken aback myself.
For the present, that is all. This may be a great idea.
Surely.
It may also be a trap in which England will perish.
Oh, I shouldn't look at it that way. Besides, nothing, not even dear old England, can last forever. Progress, you know, sir. Progress.
Just so, just so. We may survive only as another star on your flag. Still, we cling to the little scrap of individuality you've left us. If we must merge, as you call it, or did you say submerge, some of us will swim to the last. My dear, will you summon Pamphilius?
Yes, Magnus.
You shall hear from me after the cabinet meets, Mr. Van Hatten. Not tonight. You must not sit up waiting for a message. Early tomorrow, I hope. Thank you for bringing me the news before the papers got it. That seldom happens now. Pamphilius, you will reconduct His Excellency. Good evening.
I thank your Majesty. Good evening, ma'am. I look forward to presenting myself in court dress soon.
You will look very nice in it, Mr. Van Hatten. Good evening.
The scoundrels! That booby bull-roarer Bosfield. Breakages Limited have taken it into their heads to mend the British Commonwealth.
I think it is a very good thing. You will make a very good emperor. We shall civilize these Americans.
How can we when we've not yet civilized ourselves? They've come to regard us as a mere tribe of redskins. England will be just a reservation.
Oh, nonsense, dear. You know that we are their natural superiors. You can see it by the way their women behave in court. They really love and reverence royalty, while our English peeresses are hardly civil when they condescend to come at all.
Well, my dear, I do many things to please you that I should never do to please myself. And I suppose I shall end as American emperor just to keep you amused.
I never desired anything that is not good for you, Magnus. You do not always know what is good for you.
Well. Have it your own way, dearest. Where are these infernal ministers? They're late.
Coming across the lawn with Sempronius. Oh, how do you do, Mr. Proteus?
May I present the President of the Board of Trade, Mr. Boanerges?
I remember seeing you, Mr. Boanerges, at the opening of the Transport Workers' Summer Palace.
Ma'am.
And now I leave you to your labours. Ma'am?
Be seated, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice weather we're having these evenings.
There is rather a threatening cloud on the western horizon, Mr. Pliny. Prime Minister, have you heard the news from America?
I have, sir.
Am I to be favoured with the advice of my ministers on that subject?
And by your Majesty's leave, we will take the question of the ultimatum first.
Do you think the ultimatum will matter much when the capital of the British Commonwealth is shifted to Washington?
We'll see it shifted to Melbourne or Montreal first.
It would not stay there. It will stay at a real centre of gravity only.
We're agreed about that. If it shifts at all, it'll shift either west to Washington or east to Moscow.
Moscow thinks a lot of itself. But what has Moscow to teach us that we cannot teach ourselves? Moscow is built on English history, written in London by Karl Marx.
Yes, and the English king has sidetracked you again. What about the ultimatum, sir? You promised us your decision at 5 o'clock. It's now 1:15.
Are you inexorably determined to force this issue to its logical end? You know how un-English it is to do that.
My people come from Scotland.
I wish they'd stayed there. I'm English, every bone in my body.
Same here.
God help England if she had no Scots to think for her.
What does the cabinet say to that?
All their people came from Scotland or Ireland or Wales or Jerusalem or somewhere, sir. It is no use appealing to English sentiment here.
The politics are not suited to the English, if you ask me.
Then I, the only Englishman left in politics apparently, am to be reduced to complete nullity?
Yes. You cannot frighten us out of our position by painting it red. I could paint your position black if I liked. In plain terms, we require from you an unconditional surrender. If you refuse it, then I go to the country on the question whether England is to be an absolute monarchy or a constitutional one. Now, we're all agreed on that. There'll be no resignations. I have letters from the absent members of the government, and those present will speak for themselves. Now, what is your answer?
The day for absolute monarchies is past. You think you can do without me, and I know that I cannot do without you. I decide, of course, in favour of constitutional monarchy. Wait a moment.
So, there's a catch in it, is there?
Not exactly a catch. But you've driven me to face the fact that I'm unfitted to be a constitutional monarch. I am by nature incapable of the necessary self-effacement.
Well, that's true at all events. You and I are a pair, sir.
Thank you. Therefore, whilst accepting your constitutional principle without the slightest reserve, I cannot sign your ultimatum. Because by doing so, I should be making personal promises which I know I should break, which in fact I must break, because I have forces within me which your constitutional limits cannot hold in check.
How can you accept our principle if you don't sign the ultimatum?
Oh, there's no difficulty in that. When an honest man finds himself incapable of discharging the duties of a public post, he resigns.
Resigns? What are you driving at?
A king cannot resign. You might as well talk of beheading yourself. You can't behead yourself.
Other people can, though.
Do not let us quarrel about words, gentlemen. I cannot resign, but I can abdicate.
Abdicate?
Of course, abdicate. Lysistrata, you've been a teacher of history. You can assure your colleagues that there is nothing unprecedented in an abdication. The Emperor Charles V, for instance.
Oh, Charles V, be bothered. He's not good enough. Sir, I've stood by you as far as I dared. Don't throw me over. You must not abdicate.
You cannot abdicate except by my advice.
I'm acting upon your advice.
Nonsense.
Ridiculous. You're not serious, you know.
You can't upset the apple cart like this.
I must say this is not playing the game.
Well, why not? Why not? Though as an old Republican I have no respect for His Majesty as a king, I have a great respect for him as a strong man. But he's not the only pebble on the beach. Why not have done with this superstition of monarchy and bring the British Commonwealth into line with all the other great powers today, as a republic?
My abdication does not involve that, Mr. Boanerges. I'm abdicating to save the monarchy, not to destroy it. I shall be succeeded by my son Robert, Prince of Wales. He will make an admirable constitutional monarch.
Oh, come, don't be hard on the lad, sir. He has plenty of brains.
Oh, yes. I didn't mean that he's a nonentity. Quite the contrary, he's much cleverer than I am. But I've never been able to induce him to take any interest in parliamentary affairs. He prefers intellectual pursuits.
Don't you believe it? He's up to his neck in business.
Just so. He asks me why I waste my time with you here, pretending to govern the country, when it's really governed by Breakages Limited. And really, I hardly know how to answer him.
Well, things are like that nowadays. My son says just the same.
Personally, I get on very well with the prince, but somehow I do not feel he's interested in what I'm doing.
He isn't. He won't interfere with you, just as long as you don't interfere with him. Just the right king for us. Not pig-headed, not meddlesome. Thinks that nothing we do matters a rap. What do you say, Joe?
After all, why not? If your Majesty is in earnest.
I assure you, I'm very much in earnest.
Well, I confess I did not foresee this turn of events. But I ought to have foreseen it. What your Majesty proposes is the straightforward, logical, intellectually honest solution of our difficulty. Consequently, it's the last solution I could have expected in politics. But I reckon without your Majesty's character. The more I think of it, the more clearly I see that you are right. And that you're taking the only course that's open to you.
I never said I was against it, Joe.
Neither did I.
I think there's a great deal to be said for it. I have no objection.
One king's no worse than another, is he?
Is he any better? The way you fellows scuttle backwards and forwards from one mind to another whenever Joe holds up his fingers, disgusting. This is a cabinet of sheep.
Well, give the flock a better lead if you can. Have you anything else to propose?
I don't know that I have on the spur of the moment. We should have had notice of this. But I suppose the king must do as he thinks right.
Then the goat goes with the sheep. So that's all right.
Who are you calling a goat?
If you come to that, who are you calling sheep?
No, steady there, children. Steady. You have brought us all round, sir, as usual.
There's nothing more to be said.
That means another half hour at least.
Woman, this is not the moment for your tomfooleries.
Bill is right, Amanda.
Oh, good.
It is a solemn moment. It is a moment in which an old tie is being broken. I am not ashamed to confess that it is a tie from which I have learned something. Yeah. For my own part, and I think I may speak for others here as well, it has been no mere political tie, but a tie of sincere friendship. We have had our disagreements, as which of us has not, but they have been family quarrels.
Well, that's all, nothing more.
May I say, lovers' quarrels.
You may, Joe, you may.
My friends, we came here to a meeting. We find, alas, that meeting is to be a leave-taking. It is a sad leave-taking on our part, but a cordial one.
Yeah.
We are cast down, but not discouraged. Looking back to the past with regret, we can still look forward to the future with hope. That future has its dangers and its difficulties. It will bring us new problems. It will bring us face to face with a new king. But the new problems and the new king will not make us forget our old counsellor, monarch. And he will allow me to say, comrade. I know my words will find an echo in all your hearts when I conclude by saying that whatsoever king shall reign...
You'll be the vicar of Bray, Joe.
Oh, shut up! Jokes and jokes, but
Too bad, behave yourself.
She has a perfect right to speak. You're a parcel of sentimental fools.
Silence! Order! Order!
Sorry.
So you ought to be. Where's your manners? Where's your education? King Magnus, we part, but we part as strong men part, as friends. The Prime Minister has correctly represented the sentiments of all the men present. I call on them to express those sentiments in the good old English fashion. For he's a jolly good fellow, he's a jolly good fellow.
Stop! I thank you with all my heart. But there is a misapprehension. We're not taking leave of one another. I've no intention of withdrawing from an active part in politics.
What?
You are looking on me with an emotion which has deeply touched me, as a man with a political past. But I look on myself rather as a man with a political future. I've not yet told you my plans.
What plans?
A retired king can't have plans and a future.
Why not? I'm looking forward to a most exciting and enjoyable time. As I shall, of course, dissolve Parliament, the fun will begin with a general election.
A fine gesture, sir. A fine gesture, I admit it.
And since when, pray, has your Majesty taken to making gestures? What's the game this time?
Shame.
Shut up, you gubby. I said, what's the game?
There's no imposing on you, Prime Minister. The game, of course, is that when I come back into politics, I shall be in a better position as a commoner than as a peer. I shall seek a parliamentary seat.
Why, you in the House of Commons?
It is my intention to offer myself to the Royal Borough of Windsor as a candidate at the forthcoming general election.
You'll be at the top of the poll.
Well, there won't be any poll. It'll be a walk.
Oh, this shows what all your fine manners and friendly ways are worth, eh?
Hypocrites!
I wish your Majesty every success.
Here, here. Fair play, boys. Why shouldn't he go into Parliament with us?
Well said, well said. Why not?
And when you are in Parliament, what then?
There are several possibilities. I shall naturally endeavour to form a party. My son, King Robert, will have to call on some party leader who can depend on the support of the House of Commons to form a government. He may call on you. He may even call on me. Whatever happens, it will be a great relief to us to be able to speak out quite frankly about one another in public. You've never been able to tell the British people what you really think of me. No real criticism of the King is possible. I have never been able to speak my mind as to your various capacities and characters. All that reserve, that tedious affectation, that unwholesome concealment will end. I hope you look forward to our new footing as pleasurably as I do.
I am delighted, sir. You will fight Breakages for me.
It will be awful fun.
Now, Mr. Prime Minister, we're waiting for you. What have you to say about it?
Has your Majesty got that ultimatum on you?
There.
There is not going to be any abdication. There is not going to be any general election. There is not going to be any ultimatum. We carry on as before. The crisis is a washout. Sir, I shall never forgive you for this. You stole your ace of trumps from the hand that I played this morning.
That was a very deplorable exhibition of temper on the part of the Prime Minister, sir. It was not the gesture of a strong man. I will remonstrate with him. You may depend on me.
Well, I shall not say what I think.
So I have not upset the apple cart after all, Mr. Nicobar.
You can upset it as soon as you like, for all I care. I am going out of politics. Politics is a mud's game.
Well, if Nick goes, I shall have to go too.
Can you really tear yourself away from politics?
Well, I'm only too glad to be well out of them, if Breakages will let me. They shoved me into it. But I dare say they'll find another job for me.
Well, I am glad nothing's happened. You know, sir, nothing ever really does happen in the cabinet. Never mind their bit of temper. They'll be eating out of your hand tomorrow. Now that they're all gone, I don't mind saying that if anything should ever happen to the throne and your Majesty should become a president with a cabinet to pick, you might easily find a worse Home Secretary than me, with all my faults.
I shall bear it in mind. By the way, if you should happen to overtake the Prime Minister, will you be so good as to remind him that we quite forgot to settle that little affair of the proposal of America to annex the British Commonwealth?
By the Lord, so we did. Well, that's a good one.
They don't take it in, Lizzie, not one bit.
No.
It's as if another planet were crashing into us. The kingdom and the power and the glory will pass from us and leave us naked, face to face with our real selves at last.
So much the better if by our real selves you mean the old English stock that was unlike any other. Nowadays, men all over the world are as much alike as hotel dinners. It's no use pretending that the America of George Washington is going to swallow up the England of Queen Anne. The America of George Washington is as dead as Queen Anne. What they call an American is only a wop pretending to be a Pilgrim Father. He's no more Uncle Jonathan than your John Bull.
True, Lizzie, true.
Yes, we live in a world of wops, all melting into one another. And when all the frontiers are down, London may be outvoted by Tennessee and all the other places where we still madly teach our children the mentality of an 18th century village school.
Never fear, sir. It's not the most ignorant national crowd that will come out on top, but the best power station. For you can't do without power stations, and you can't run them on patriotic songs and hatred of the foreigner and guff and bugaboo, though you can run nationalism on nothing else. But I am heartbroken at your not coming into the House with us, to keep old England in front and to lead a new party against Breakages.
That would have been splendid, wouldn't it? But I'm too old-fashioned. This is a farce that younger men must finish.
Oh, come home with me, dear. I will sing to you until you can't help laughing. Oh, come.
Now, Magnus, it is time to dress for dinner.
Oh, not now. I've something very big to think about. I don't want any dinner.
No dinner? Did anyone ever hear of such a thing? You know you will not sleep if you think after 7 o'clock.
But really, Jemima...
Now. Don't be naughty. I mustn't be late for dinner. Come on, like a good little boy.
And the king, with a grimace of hopeless tenderness, allows himself to be led away.
The Apple Cart, a political extravaganza by Bernard Shaw. King Magnus was played by Peter Barksworth, Queen Jemima by Sonia Fraser, and Alice, the Princess Royal, by Amanda Murray. The King's secretaries, Pamphilius and Sempronius, were played by Brian Sanders and Christopher Scott. Proteus, the Prime Minister, was played by Nigel Stock. Nicobar, the Foreign Secretary, Brian Haynes. Pliny, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Patrick Barr. Balbus, the Home Secretary, Michael McStay. Crassus, the Colonial Secretary, Godfrey Kenton. Boanerges, the President of the Board of Trade, Colin Douglas. Amanda, the Postmistress General, Dilys Laye. Lysistrata, the Power Mistress General, Elizabeth Spriggs. Mr. Van Hatten, the American Ambassador, was played by John Church, and Orinthia, The King's Mistress by Prunella Scales. The narrator was Dennis Hawthorne. The Apple Cart was adapted for radio and directed by Ian Cottrell.